of Purnesh Modi or from your side to uphold the conviction, in which case, sir, if the Sessions Court comes to a conclusion that indeed there is still a case for defamation and that the conviction stands, and if the Sessions Court gives cogent arguments and reasoning in support of the quantum of punishment, in that case, what are the options available then for Rahul Gandhi?
Then he can file a revision to the High Court like he did before. And after the revision, he has again an option to go back to the Supreme Court.
So, sir, because it's been about 6 months, we are looking at the possibility of another 6 months passing. But in that period, perhaps because your own conclusion is that Rahul Gandhi's Lok Sabha membership stands reinstated or might get reinstated post today's order, which means pending the court process now, Rahul Gandhi can be an MP. Is that the suggestion?
That's not the suggestion, that's the law. I'm only telling you what the law is. The law is that when the Representation of People's Act disqualifies a member of parliament who is convicted for a sentence of 2 years or more. Not less than 2 years is the wording of the Representation of People Act. If you want to know the section, that's section 8.3. That is section 8.3. Okay? Now, if the conviction is stayed, which is the whole purpose of why Rahul Gandhi went all the way to the Supreme Court. He wanted the conviction to be stayed so that he could get back into parliament. Now, once the conviction is stayed, right, what does that mean? What is the effect of a conviction being stayed? It means that until such time as it is stayed, right, the disqualification will not apply. So, unless the appellate court, which is the Sessions Court in Gujarat, convicts him and again puts a sentence of 2 years, right? Then Rahul Gandhi will continue to be an MP. Now, the Sessions Court and the High Court of Gujarat and the Supreme Court have both expedited the matter. So I don't know how soon it will get over. But the fact of the matter is, as of today, sir, Rahul Gandhi's conviction and sentence are both stayed. Yes. So he can go back to parliament, but he still continues to be a convict. He still continues to be convicted, but only the consequences of his conviction and his sentence of 2 years are postponed till the appeal is finally decided.
Right, sir. So I'm just trying to piece together the possibilities going into the future. The matter goes back to the Sessions Court, possibly maybe next week or whenever Rahul Gandhi approaches the Sessions Court, which obviously the Congress party would want to do at the soonest. The Sessions Court, like it did the last time, heard the matter over a period of a month
I'm not so sure about that.
Gives a verdict,
I'm not so
which means...
Abhishek, I'm not so sure that having got the stay of conviction of the Supreme Court, that Rahul Gandhi will be... listen to me, that Rahul Gandhi will be in a terrible hurry to go to the Sessions Court again. We have asked for expedition.
You mean to say that given the possibility
expedition has been asked by us.
So what you're suggesting is that now that Rahul Gandhi is going to be reinstated as member of the Lok Sabha, the Congress party might not be in a hurry to go back to the Sessions Court and look for a review of the entire thing.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But they may surprise us all. They may go. I don't know. But there's no hurry for them to go back to the Sessions Court. Right.
If you were Rahul Gandhi's legal advisor, I'm just sort of flipping the hats. If you were Rahul Gandhi's legal advisor, what would be your suggestion? What would be your advice?
I'm not Rahul Gandhi's legal advisor, and I don't ever foresee myself as being Rahul Gandhi's legal advisor. So it's an exercise which I find far too difficult to get into and trouble myself. I don't know. My only advice to Rahul Gandhi, gratuitous advice, would be that be a little more careful about what you say in public. You've already been admonished twice, once by the Supreme Court, right? when you said that the Supreme, when you put words in the mouth of the Supreme Court and you were admonished, there was a contempt of court, and you were actually a convict in that case, but you have an admonition. You have an admonition by the Supreme Court and a word of caution to be careful in future. Right? Now, in fact, the Supreme Court today said that if Rahul Gandhi had that judgment earlier, he might not have uttered the words which he uttered against the Modi community, all people with the name surname, because he had been cautioned. But the caution came on 14 November after he made the speech on 13th April of 2019. But we used it as a ground.
Right.
And so has the
since
Sessions Court.
The
Sessions Court has said.
Yeah.
So my advice to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, if I were to give him any advice at all, not legal, is that he should really be careful, and that he's got away twice with the caution. Third time, he won't be that lucky.
Right. And my last question to you, sir, your legal advice to Mr. Purnesh Modi, whom you were representing, like, are there options available to Mr. Purnesh Modi as well?
Yes, to move the Sessions Court for the disposal of the appeal. Both the High Court and today the Supreme Court have expedited the appeal. So to move it as fast as possible and finish it. There are only 9 witnesses in the case. The case should not take more than 2-3 weeks to argue, and this is an appeal. There's no trial. There's no cross-examination. You have to refer to the record in the trial court and say that the conviction stands and make out a case for whatever sentence you propose, you wish him to have in this case, and hope that the Sessions Court accepts your sentence suggestions.
So there is all likelihood, sir, that in next 2 months things might overturn again.
Yes, distinct possibility that in the next 2 months things might overturn again. That is, if both the conviction and the 2-year sentence are upheld by the Sessions Court. But the Sessions Court, at least on the question of sentence, will have to give
Thank you so much,
better reasons than were given by the trial court.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us and giving that very comprehensive perspective on the Supreme Court order today, which has made possible Rahul Gandhi's return to the Lok Sabha as member from Wayanad. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani, the senior lawyer, Rajya Sabha MP, and he in fact represented Purnesh Modi, the complainant, in the case before the topmost court of the country. Thank you so much for joining us.